Hi friends, and welcome back to another video. My name is Michaela, and today I'm going to be telling you some bookish things about me. So I figured we've been talking for a little over a year now, and I've never really done like a get to know me video. And I'm always like, if you know me, well, you might not. So let's get into some things. I have a list of some questions here that I found on some bookish site, and it's a little get to know the reader. So let's just get straight into it and learn some new things about me. Okay, so question number one is going to be, when did you start reading? So honestly, I read a good bit in elementary school, a little bit in middle school, but I didn't really become like a reader until like 2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah, it's a little over 2.5 years ago, and that's when it really took off for me. I loved Junie B. Jones, like in my childhood. That's me saying I read, but I mean, I read all of them, so I would say I was a reader for a minute there. And then middle school, the Divergent series like literally owned me because a friend recommended them to me and I literally devoured them. But then I stopped again, and I don't know what made me pick up a book, honestly. It was so random. I don't know where it came from, honestly, but I would say a true reader like 2.5 years ago. So question number two, why do you love reading? Okay, easy answer, okay? So reality is tough, okay? Sometimes being here is not that fun. So I like to dive into fictional worlds and kind of just like bury myself in this place. Because when I read, that's what, like, I try to explain it to my boyfriend. He doesn't really get what I'm saying, but he's not a reader. But like when you dive into a book, you're there, you know? It's like watching a movie for me, honestly. Like, I don't know if everybody's like that, but I can visualize like every single thing that's happening, and then that I'm just there. I'm not, if I'm sitting here reading a book, you can try to talk to me, but I ain't here, I'm gone. Like, I'm 100 miles away in a book. And that is something that I really love about a book, like something that can pull you completely into it and you just get lost in the words. And some books make you feel so seen and heard. So that's another reason I truly love reading, but there's so many reasons. I could give you like 9,000. It also, like, the friends that it's brought me. Like, I would never imagine in a million years that I would get so many amazing girls through reading. Like, it's kind of crazy to me. Like, I was so scared to start a bookstagram because I was like, I don't want any of the people I know in my hometown to see it, because I don't know. I was so nervous, but I finally said screw it. I started one, and it was the best decision I ever made, because I truly don't know where I would be without reading or without my little fellow readers. You know what I mean? Question number three is, what genres do you love? I feel like you guys probably know the answer to this one, but it's going to be like romance, fantasy, sometimes dystopian, rom-coms, horror, thriller. I really like a lot of genres. I'm not big on like the biographies or the memoirs or anything like that, but I will read them from time to time. I say that, I think I've only read one. It was Jeanette McCurdy, but it was good. So it's not one of my top genres, but I have read it before. But I would definitely say main two are gonna be romance and fantasy for me. The last book that you recommended to someone, I really want to say it was yours truly, because somebody asked me for like a romance book, but something that wasn't all smut driven and something that had like meaning behind it. And no book has ever held as much meaning for me personally as that book did, because it's so real and raw and in depth of like real human feelings, you know, like things that we don't talk about a lot in other books. Like, it's very common in a romance book to talk about ex relationships and those struggles, or bad relationship with your parents. Like, all of that's talked about and it's normal. But to talk about anxiety is like a whole nother spill, and I've never read something that did such a great job with it. Like, it truly touched me to the soul, and I will never stop thinking about that book. It owns me, and I just think it's such a gift to be able to make your reader feel understood and heard and seen just from the words you're writing on a page. So that was definitely my last recommendation, and I will continue to recommend it to everybody just because of how utterly amazing it is. So the next question is going to be, what are you currently reading? Well, give me just a second and I'll show you, because there's 3 of them. Okie dokie. So what I'm reading right now is There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. Oh my god, I cannot believe it took me 2.5 years to pick up a Sophie Lark. Like, I've had these books I want to say at least a year, and they've just been kind of like sitting, chilling, and I thought about them a lot, but I was never like itching to pick them up, and I am so freaking glad I did, because There Are No Saints, I read that book in 2 days, which is crazy for me because I haven't really been reading fast recently. Like, it's been insane, but I picked this one up. I haven't read this one as fast, but I am enjoying it. I just need to get further into it because I haven't got very far at all. But yeah, I'm literally on chapter 3. But it's so good. But oh my god, read the trigger warnings first, because this is not what I expected at all, but it's good. Okay, and the next book I'm reading is going to be Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh, and you guys will see that vlog soon, which I'm super excited for because so much has happened already, and I've had so many feelings with this book, and I absolutely love it. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm really hurting, like reading it is so hard sometimes because of the trauma in this book. Like, it makes it so hard, but the story is just so beautiful and worth it, so you just push yourself through the pain, and that's what I've been doing. But I'm slowly pushing myself, as you can see. I think I've been reading it for like 10 days now, so we're gonna get there. I think I'm going to read some today so I can vlog that a little bit. But oh my god, if you have not read Boys of Tommen, I would suggest it, but also trigger warnings before you do so. The last book that I'm currently reading, guys, I didn't know this was coming out. Like, I was just talking to a friend about this on Bookstagram the other day. I am such like a living under the rock person because I don't know about like new releases. There are certain ones that I keep up with, but the majority of the time I'll be like, oh my god, I can't wait for that book to come out. And somebody's like, oh, it comes out next week. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't even see that it was like going to be published soon or anything like that. So yeah, this book might have been announced before, but I completely missed it. Anyway, with all that being said, Carolina Comments bonus content. If you know me, which this video is about getting to know me, this series is one of my absolute favorites. Tegan Hunter stole my freaking heart with this hockey romance series. I absolutely devoured all 7 of the books so quickly, and she announced this, or she posted it was out sometime last week. And literally the minute she did, I ordered it. I was not waiting because Comments forever, baby. And I just could not miss out on this. But as you can tell, I'm not really far in it, but that's intentional. Like, I do not want to devour this because this is my last of my babies. Like, once I read this, it's done. Like, I thought I was done before and I had to deal with that heartbreak. And now I have like a little bonus content / there's a new story in here called Game Changer. Like, are you kidding me, Tegan? This is the best gift you could have given me, and I'm so excited to get further into it, but I'm definitely taking my time with it because I'm not ready for it to be over yet. 3 books at a time. Yeah, I know, I'm insane. It's fine. So why did you start this channel? That's a great question. So honestly, I was always wanting to like vlog. Vlogging was just so fun and cool to me, but I'm such an introvert and a shy person that I was just like, I can't put myself on YouTube like for literally anybody to watch. Like, I'm so scared that I'm gonna look stupid and sound stupid, and just I never thought this was gonna be something I would do. But honestly, I'll put their handles here because these are the 2 girls that literally gave me the push I needed to start. But Juliana and Tiffany, the way they do it just made me feel like I could do it, you know? I don't want to say I saw myself in them, but I kind of did. Like, the goofy things they would say or the bloopers, like that kind of stuff, that was me. I felt like that was gonna be the kind of content creator I would be. So to see them being like authentically themselves and not really like, I don't know if they question it, but they do put themselves out there, and they talk about what they want to talk about. They have bloopers, they trip on their words, and I love that because everything is so cookie cutter anymore, and I knew I couldn't do that. I trip on my words all the time, as you guys know. I do this, like I go to say something and I'm like, what am I gonna say? And it just kind of made me feel validated in the fact that I could do this. Like, I remember I had seen Tiffany and I was like, oh my god, I want to do this so bad. It just looks so fun. And then there was this one video of Juliana's, I can't remember which one it was, but she did something and it just reminded me of myself, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna start a channel, and I don't regret it at all. I absolutely love it. Like, just sitting here talking to the camera and talking to you guys, I love it. It just genuinely makes me so happy. So I am so glad that I found those two beautiful girls and that they gave me the push I needed, because this is something I really enjoy. So thank you both. I love your channels. Please keep doing what you're doing because you are killing it and I love to see it. So buying books or borrowing books? This will be a really quick question. I ain't borrowing nothing, dude, because I need my books to be in like pristine condition. So I am definitely a buyer. I don't even think I could lend out my books. Like to my best friend that I know is gonna keep them clean, okay. But like just anybody, dude, that just scares me because like they have to be pretty and not messed up. And like, I take such good care of my books that I can't imagine like letting somebody borrow them. Because I've seen the horror stories, guys. I'm not trying to be mean, but I've seen the horror stories. The cat scratches, the dog's eating it, the food, the coffee. Oh, I would literally die, especially if it was an annotated baby. I just know. Okay, that question's over. Definitely a buyer. Next question is going to be your favorite book. Okay, so for the longest time, I'm sure you guys are saying, the 7-Year Slip. That was for the longest time, but if you couldn't tell by the way I talked about Yours Truly earlier by Abby Jimenez, that is my absolute favorite book right now, just because it touched my heart in a way that no other book really has, and that's just so special to me. So it's very sentimental because of the way I connected to it, and I felt myself in that book, and I really connected with Jacob, and he made me feel like I'm not a lunatic. Like it's okay to be anxious in these situations and to deal with your anxiety in the way that you know how and you feel comfortable in dealing with it. So that is definitely my favorite book, and I will scream it from the rooftops because Abby absolutely nailed that book and did such a good job portraying what it's like to battle with anxiety and even solutions, like how to help yourself. Like Jacob, he was big on journaling, so I've kind of started trying to journal and it's really helping. I really like it. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite book right now. Next question, where do you read? Girl, I read freaking everywhere. I will read in the car. I will read hidden in a corner on break in my warehouse. I will read freaking on my bed, in the couch, outside, on the beach, at the park. I don't care. On the toilet, I literally don't care. I will read everywhere. So there's not a place I wouldn't read. Can you read while hearing music? It's actually concerning how loud my surroundings can be and I can still be fully immersed in a book. Like my boyfriend, he loves to blare music in the car, which I do too, so slay king, but I sometimes want to read, so I can literally just completely tune it out and go to town on my book. Like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's a gift I have. Let me know if you have the same gift, because I feel like a superhuman sometimes. I'm like, dude, I can just boom and I'm in the book. But next question. Do you enjoy audiobooks? Yes, I do. And if you would have asked me that a year ago, I would have said no, because it wasn't really like my type of thing. I just could never feel, if I listened to it on audiobooks, I wouldn't feel connected to it as I would if I was reading it paperback. But after having so many good experiences with audiobooks, I'm definitely an audiobook person. Some of my favorite books that I have listened to is going to be The Improbable Meet Cute little 6 short stories, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Like those things I just absolutely adored on audiobook. I also really love listening to Magnolia Parks universe, Binding 13 universe, because the accents. I love an accent, so I love listening to my books with accents. Your least favorite book? That is going to have to be Things I Wish I, what was it? Things I Wanted to Say But Never Did. I changed the title in my head. I'm always like, things you shouldn't have said at all, because I hate that book that much. Like, I'm not one to crap on books a whole lot, but that book, absolutely not. Like, I'm sorry, you can't get me to, that is the one book I'm a stand on business. I'm not changing my opinion, and I'm not gonna hate on your opinion. If you love it, slay girl, but no, just not for me at all. I just found that character to be, the MMC was so degrading, and oh, I just hated the way he spoke to her and the way he treated her. I hated that book so much. So let's just move on to the next question. Do you DNF? Yes, I do. Honestly, I used to hate DNFing, but I've gotten to the point where if I have to like push myself really hard to finish a book and I'm not enjoying it, I'm just gonna not finish it, you know, because what's the point? Like, nobody's telling me, hey, you have to read this book. I'm doing it to myself. So if I don't enjoy it and I'm not like having a good time with it or looking forward to reading it, I'm just gonna put it down. Do you annotate your books? Yes, queen, I do. I absolutely love annotating. I don't do it with everything though. Like it's only certain books. Like you see Powerless, I think you can see it. That's got a bunch of tabs. Reckless has got a bunch of tabs. Like random stuff, dude. Like Throttled's gotten a bunch. I haven't read any more of the Dirty Air series. What else have I annotated? I've annotated a good bit. The ACOTAR series, but I did not do the first book and this last book. First book because I wasn't that in love yet, so I didn't start annotating. Last book because I didn't like it at all. And then the Addicted series. So yeah, I mean, it really depends. And I love like books that I get from author friends or indie authors. I love to annotate those as well. So I mean, it really just depends on what kind of book it is. If it's really big, I probably won't. The next question is going to be, do you reread books? Girl, I want to. There are so many books that I want to reread so desperately, but I have so many others that I need to read first, and I don't know why, but I just feel like I have this endless TBR and I just want to get through it before adding something like I've already read to the bunch. You know what I mean by that? I just, look at that, that's cool. Anyway, yeah, I really do. I have probably a full TBR of books I want to reread, but I just want to read my books I haven't read first yet. If that makes any sense. Do you read out loud? Absolutely the frick not. And y'all know that because if I did that, I would never finish a book. Let's see how long this takes me. I'm getting married tonight and nobody here knows it. Well, that's not entirely true. Coach Heller knows. He knows because I couldn't keep something like this from him again and expect to keep getting good ice time. He wraps up a pregame speech. See? It just don't work. Catches my eye just before exiting the room and tosses me a wink. I nod back, and if anyone sees the exchange, they don't say a word. There are hushed conversations all over the room as we get our last of our gear on. Colin nudges his shoulder against mine, and I turn to find his brows scrunched together, his features lined with concern. You good? You're quiet tonight, even for you. I mean, I didn't read it super slow, but that's not as fast as it felt in my head, so. Next question is hardback or paperback? I don't care. Honestly, well, I guess I do depending on what the book is. I do prefer a paperback, but some books I prefer hardcovers. Like it really just depends on which book it is and if it's a series, if it's a standalone. It really just depends. I like both though. Like I don't have a problem with hardcovers. I know some people are not fans at all, but I don't have a problem with them. I think they're okay, especially when they have sprayed edges. I like sprayed edges way more on hardcovers than I do paperbacks. I don't like how it looks on paperback. Especially when it's one color. So yeah. Okay, and the last question is going to be series or standalones. Honestly, series. Yeah, because when I read a book and I fall in love with these characters, I want to see them again. You know, like I don't want to just be like one and done and goodbye. I would like to see them again. So like Chestnut Springs, the Off-Campus series, Carolina Comments, Binding 13, yeah, like books like that. I love meeting the characters, falling in love with them, and then being able to go back to them and not just being done. But it also, I feel like it hurts more when you finish the series because you've spent so much time with these characters, you feel like you truly know them, and now it's just like, bye. So it's hard, but I think I'd say series for sure, but I also love a good standalone. I just love any books. Just give them all to me. Okay guys, so that was it for the bookish getting to know me. I hope you guys feel like you know me a little bit better. Let me know, do you agree with any of the things that I said? Answer, let's see, what question should you answer? Can you read while listening to music? I want to know, like, am I a lunatic that I can listen to like loud, crazy music and still be completely focused? Or is that like all of us readers? Are we just like superhuman? I wanna know. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. Make sure you leave me a comment so we can chat below because I love talking with you guys. It's so fun. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you got something from this video. I love you and I will see you next time.